Hello everyone, it's Junkie Miss Nan, and yes, I am back, and I'm just going to jump right in. I just finished this one, been working on it for a while, was not able to finish it in the time frame that I had planned to finish it because, let me explain a little bit, since I've been away for quite some time. Went to visit my mom, spent Christmas and New Year's with her, but my vacation extended over into January. Upon coming back, I made plans, left to Puerto Rico, and also spent some time there with my mother-in-law. And after that, I came back and I was actually sick for a little bit. Just had no energy for anything. And then after that, we set out on a three-week trip to Australia. Amazing. And that's why you see this little paddle boat here, steamboat. We took a cruise on the Murray, visited one of the, what do you call it? Where they rehabilitate the animals. So it's a little, rehabilitation center where we saw koalas. We went to a wildlife bird sanctuary and picked up this guy. So I see where some people get their inspiration of their abstract paint. And finally back and decided to go ahead and finish her. And here she is. I did pick up some stuff in Australia, which I can show you in a bit, but I'm going to try and get through this as best as I can. So I'm glad you're back. Welcome to those who are new, and I hope you stick with me. We are travelers, so I know that I haven't been consistent, but that will come eventually. So this one is a hardcover cover book that I recycled and created a junk journal out of, and it has 3 signatures. It is 16 centimeters wide. The spine is 2 1/4 inch, and from top to bottom we have about roughly 9 1/2 inches. And like I always say, it contains the new, the old, the used, the thrifted, and that's how I work with my books. And the lovely cover has been covered with a placemat. I managed to thrift 2 of them. I tried to look for the other one, but I have so much stuff, I have to just get into it and start using what I have. I don't remember where the placemats are from. I think it's somewhere in South America. I don't know if it was Portugal or somewhere in South America. So I used that to cover the book. So I did create this closure. I didn't want to puncture any holes in the book. So it's pretty basic here. I didn't want to cover the flowers either. I love the way that it looked. So I created this closure, which I used a ribbon and lace and buttons, and most of the stuff that I purchased on this was from Hobby Lobby, except the buttons and the green ribbon that I have here, but everything else is from Hobby Lobby. And it's beautiful. I just sewed it all together, hand sewed the buttons on, and this is what it looks like in the back. I'm okay with that, and I love all these strangling, what do you call it, thread. I love the way that looks in my books and in anything that I create. So I'm going to set that aside. And the book is a chunky monkey. Not as bad. I mean, the spine could have been bigger, but let's get into it. And I hope you like what I have here. And this is just to inspire someone who wants to create to go ahead and dig into it. I don't remember what book I used for it because it's been a while since I've been working on it. So without further ado, I created a pocket with an old curtain that I thrifted. And a lot of this stuff, many people are using it in their junk journals. But the majority of the stuff I do have in my stash. I'm not buying anything new to create my books at the moment. I'm not saying that I won't buy, just at the moment. So I added this book is property of. I thought that was cute. I found that in a book. And I also just recently thrifted these. I couldn't help myself. It's nothing new, it's thrifted. And it's from Jane Austen, and I thought that was a lovely addition to the ideology pieces in here. I created these little tea bags, which each tea bag has a quote on the back, not a quote, I'm sorry, a scripture verse. So I thought, tea and the word, perfect. And the 3 signatures, all 3 are covered in, it's so funny that you know these things, but at the moment of recording, you just forget 1 or 2 things. It's not a reinforcement. It's what you put paper in your notebooks. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I'll probably remember after the video. And I covered all 3 signatures, and there's sewing in here. There's stapling. There's gluing. All that good stuff. Just made a cluster tab here. And I went ahead and I did create a bookmark out of a popsicle stick, one of those jumbo ones. And I will just set things to the side so I don't have to rustle through it trying to put everything back. And there is scripture throughout the book. This is from an old magazine, Audrey's mother, Ethelyn Valentine of Pine Orchard, Connecticut. I didn't read the article, but I thought this was a nice addition to it. And I did stamping also, added washi, created a huge masterboard, and cut down to size the cards that I wanted to add to the pages. I have 12 by 12 from Paper Studio and other companies. Washi from Paper Studio. Just cut these pieces apart and layered them on top of each other, sort of collage form, but made a pocket there to add this little card, which is empty, but enough space in this book, despite the fact that I added so many things to it, for someone to actually, I have plans for this book, and it's a gift for someone. And there's enough space in it for writing or whatever they want to do with it. I have so much material downstairs, so this is something I've had in my stash for quite a long time. And again, zigzag stitch, straight stitches, all that is in here. These are cards that I thrifted, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, is from the company Current, which I don't even know if it exists anymore. And a simple belly band, nothing embellished, fancy. If I want to, I can add a clip here. I can add just about anything I want on there. A pen. The person could do that themselves. So there's still room here for the person to play in the book as they wish. Butterflies that came on a calendar that my sister gave me. And this is an actual EKG that had been done for my father-in-law. I was back in Puerto Rico for years ago, and things were being thrown out after he passed away, and I grabbed a bunch of the old papers that they had, but this is an actual printout of it. And I did a sloppy choppy thing here. It's not straight, but I went over with a pen, and I'm okay with that. I created some envelopes here. It's actually, they can do whatever they want to. They can actually mail this if they want to. Just add a regular stamp on there. But I also added these cards, which some of you might have seen before, thrifted years ago. They're French. And I think I'll just set these things aside and put them back later. It'll just take more time to put everything back in. Simple card to write on. I did not glue the doily on there because I pretty much want that person to have room to do what they want with the doily. And I didn't embellish with too many bling on the side, and I could do that at the last minute if I choose to. But I have not. There's just a few tabs, and maybe this is the only bling hanging from the outer part of the book. Some printed nature papers on tissue paper, not tissue paper. This is tracing paper. That's what I was trying to say. Sticker, music. I also thrifted these, a box of these at Goodwill. It also is part of the Tim Holtz. And a lot of this is ideology. I created my own little library pocket, and I did not use my distress ink throughout the whole book, just very few items. I did my own coffee dyeing, and this is another one of those antique medical forms. I put some washi in it just to cover the name. The person who's getting this, it's not going to matter to them because they know who it is. I did some stamping, adding some stickers. I am not It's not that I'm not keen on adding stickers. If I have them, I will use them, but I rarely do use them. This is stationery that I thrifted. And the book throughout the three signatures, there's a lot of similarity in them. So that's why I'm going to try to go through this really fast. And fodder made out of a magazine. I tried my hand at that, being inspired by a few people on YouTube that have this ability to really do some really neat stuff. These are the pamphlets that they have all over Hobby Lobby, with the idea sheets that they have that are free. So I have a book that's about this big loaded with all of them. Over the years I've been collecting, so I decided to just add it into the book for some lovely pictures. This says Joy Chart. I have no idea where I got that. I have so many things in my stash. I have no idea where I got from, but plenty of space to write. Measuring stamp. Also another little quote. And another one from the calendar, and I just made a cluster out of it and created a pocket out of it. This in the background says washable, do not dry clean, but I'm not sure where that came from, but I know I have these in old ones that are for buttons, old buttons, so I'm not sure if that's one, but it says dry clean, so I'm assuming it's something totally different. And here is faux stitching with the stamps that I got from Amazon. I love this paper. I'm all about grungy. If you give me a book filled with papers that are coffee dyed, they are my favorite. And so this here is an old postcard. It says Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I did not see a date on it, but I went to a garage sale with a friend and managed to get a box about this big full of old postcards. So I decided to add some in here. And instead of creating the opening on this side, I created it on this side, which it doesn't matter. The card slides in and it slides out very easily. And there's other things that can be tucked inside that pocket. And these are from a set that I purchased with some decorative paper from Puerto Rico. And this is an old pad, a note from Betty Crocker. So everything has a place where they can write if they choose to. They can paint, they can do whatever they want with the book. And I created 2 pockets. I'm left thinking, I'm not sure what I want to put here, if I do want to add anything on it. Or they can use it for writing space also. And then here's a guest check that I coffee dyed. And this is a shipment form, order form. Also, you can tell by the yellowing around the edges, it's not something new. It's quite old. I wouldn't say antique. And the back, you're just going to get the same thing on the back. Here, the calendar butterfly. My sister gave me the calendar, and I cut all the butterflies out. I loved it. It's hard to, when you love something, to put it in a book that you're going to give away, because every time I finish a book, I don't know if you feel the same, I almost want to keep them. But I have so many. And another little card that I did some stitching on, zigzag stitching, writing on the back. And I took a recollection packaging card. I don't remember what was in it. I know there was something in it for embellishing. Oh, I know what was in there. Flowers. There were flowers. And I kept the cardboard piece, and I decided to just staple on my Hobby Lobby receipts in a waterfall manner, so they can actually pull out the paper and have more space to write, whether it's in the front or the back. I thought that was cute. And then I added these little picture holders. I don't know what they're called, but you can add the pictures to it, so it's easy to add your cards to it too. I've been doing this for quite some time now. And then took a little piece of cloth and added the word note on there, and the little clip with the ribbon. I mean the string. The other side of it. And this here, I'm going to give a shout out to Jolly Jam Journals, because she created something that's called a Scrap Buster Layered Hidden Paperclip Side Tuck. And her video is called Craft With Me, Scrap Buster Layered Hidden Paperclip Side Tucks. So this idea is not mine. I mean, I've done clips like this before, but this was not my idea at the moment. I saw her video and I decided to create one. So it just slips right off. She used a different kind of a paper. I used an old calendar to create mine. So, and maybe someday I'll create a video creating these also, putting them together. So I did the same basic thing. She did a lot of little things on hers, adding on the top. I did a faux paper ribbon and then added some washi paper and this little heart and the butterfly. But when you put it, what I'm holding is this, and I'm actually holding with that clip a large envelope. The person can pull out, add whatever they want in there. They could actually add these in there if they so choose. And as you can see, I did coffee dye the envelopes. Added a little, I don't know what kind of paper this is. It's not a paper bag. It's not a glassine bag. It's not wax paper, but I think it's some kind of wrapping tissue paper. So I added that there, and inside I put a little card, one of my Greek word cards, that says, "Clean and pure, create in me, O Lord," I added. And there are those who will understand that. David said that in the Psalms. So then all you have to do is clip it back on, and I created 3 of these, so each signature has one, and look how beautiful. You can add whatever you want in there. It doesn't have to be an envelope. I mean, you can leave it like that, add some lines in there, whatever you wish to, and this is empty too. So I created this envelope to add there, and it holds perfectly, and then I forgot to put it in there, but I'll leave it like that. You pretty much got the gist of how I had it in there. More stamping. And the other side of the signature with scripture in it. I love the paper. The paper's beautiful. And I created a permanent bookmark in the book, but this is what I used. I used beads. I did string it in there under the material, and it says believe, hope, love, pray, Jesus, and heart. And you can place it wherever you want and close your book, and you know where you're at, and it works perfectly fine. I love it. So let me put that back in here and move on to the second one, which they're pretty much the same. The tea bag in the back, I did in the bag of each signature. I keep saying insert, sorry. Signature, I did put in some kind of an art. I think this is something from Renoir. And I added paper in the back so they can write on that. Tea bags, they all have a scripture on it. And the same tab, only this time this one has a piece of paper that they can write on. They can add whatever they want on there. His love endures forever. Amen to that one. And here we have the last time Mom visited the Bronx. I have no idea. This came from a magazine, so I just added it in there. I thought it looked cute. Nothing specific. The book is not theme related. I did start it that way because I think it was in late January, but it's taking me time to finish it. So for me, it's not a theme related book. And then here another card, which they can write on. I took the flowers and stamped them, but I also used my Tombow. Let me see if I can pronounce this word. I don't have them handy here. Fudensaki or something like that. Well, anyway, I used Tombow markers markers to color in the flowers I stamped. And this, I think, is Paper Studio, the bird. And also this, but these are just bits and pieces I filled out. This is from a doily, cards, all that kind of good stuff that we add into our books. This here, save your little packaging. I bought some buttons and I created this cute little embellishment for my book. And it is zoology. I cut out all the little hearts and placed it in there, added some lace, and that's part of the book. Aesthetics. There's something cute to add there. This is from an old book. Be still, exclaimed the heron. Everyone told him to be still. And we know the word says, be still, and know that I am God. Here's another one. pretty much the same. I've done them the same way with the faux stitching stamp. This one here is from, I have a bunch of stamps from Amazon, that's for sure. A lot of little scrap material, more faux stitching with the stamps. I could have gone and stitched everything if I wanted to, but I thought, let me do it differently. So I added that there with a little strawberry stamp. No reason or rhyme to that one. Just thought it was cute. I think the person who's getting this is going to love the book. There's a lot of space for sentiments, for memories, so they can add their own pictures and just any little thing that they want to add to it. Also part of that page, and here it also part of that old book, Good Old Days special issue. I think I got it at the public library. I like going to their store in the library where they sell their books for $1 or $2. A lot of children's books too. Another simple belly band, contrasting colors. I mean, it might not make sense to anybody else, but I think goes really well. Another one of those current cards in there. I actually had them like this color covering the butterfly. And this is also part of a echogram. And I think that's what it's called. And that was my father-in-law's heartbeat. He's no longer with us, but I kept it. Added some more washi there, covering up some words there. And another library pocket. This time it has this little card, and it reminds me when I was in school, when I was a little girl. Nice. Ideology pieces, another card. More music. Again. Hobby Lobby pamphlets. Here I did some faux signature with the hand. I thought that came out cute. This one is just a card to write on. Another little tuck spot here for a card with the butterfly. This one is buttons. And as you can see, it was from Walmart, and it was only 57 cents. Oh. We don't see that today. More stamps from Amazon. Another card, which is also from Miami. It says the Wadding Pools from Miami, Florida. Some of these pages do give you inspiration also on colors that you can use on the opposite page if the person so chooses to, which is sometimes what I do. What gives me inspiration is adding some of this stuff to my books also, so that I can just paint on the other side using the colors I see on the left. More pockets with papers to write on. This is a glassine envelope that I coffee dyed, and then I added a little card in there with timestamp on it. There's enough space on the other side to write. More washi from Paper Studio. And another doily. This is from something somebody gifted me that I have a bunch of the same paper. It's on my refrigerator, so I thought I'd grab and add it in there. Ecclesiastes 3:1. And it's the same one, part of the book. And another clip. And these, I still have so many of these. I just have to start using what I have every time I go somewhere where there's a thrift store, Goodwill, or whatever, and I see something that catches my eye. I just need to stop that. These, I rarely see these anymore, but I'm adding it in there. Another, she calls it clip side tuck, paper clip side tuck. This time I just added washi, the faux ribbon, the card, this little dangle of a bee, which I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby, part of the calendar. I think it's cute. And another envelope on this side. And on this side, another envelope that I decorated. And as you can see, it did start with a theme, but I'm good. They'll be good too. These books we add with our memories, our thoughts, and they just, if you take good care of them and you're gentle with them, put them in a place where you can protect them, these books will outlast us. And let me put that envelope back in there. And you can add just about anything on there. Anything you want. Card. I have so much stuff around here, but I'm not going to start pulling anything out. And lemon stamp. Coffee dyed paper. I thought this was really cute. More of the scripture paper. I added each signature front and back has, these are stickers from Paper Studio that I added there. And here is another one. I don't know where she's from, but I thought it was cute, so I added it in there. Tea bag, clustered tab there. Some admit one. The mother of recycling. Does it say what year? I don't know. Might say it on the other side. The mother recycling. And okay, I won't start reading that. I'm tempted to, but so for this pocket, I left an opening there and I added a pretty little card there. And also there's more space here to write on. Beautiful papers. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Another nature paper. It's pretty much all three signatures have the same thing in them, just one or two differences. Gentle like you. I just added there for extra if they want to write on that. Another card to write on, say I do. And another one of those current fancy antique looking I don't know if you would call it a card because it's very thin, but I guess so, that they can write on with the envelope. Another one of those Dr. Horns. Stamping, Hobby Lobby pamphlet, coffee dyeing paper, another card to write on. This one says, selfishness. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole world. Wow. Our love. We are called to be a light upon a hill. Another one of the little La Petite by Lansing. Old buttons. I have them in a container up on the top here. More stamping. This is a bridge sheet. Never played it. Don't think I ever will. 2 inches. My favorite thing is to play solitaire. So I've got a lot of cards that I bought in all the countries that I've been to. I purchase a pack of cards. Pocket. Look at this. This is pretty. You can add all kinds of insects in here, or even paint on the page and paint your own butterfly. A million things you can do if the person chooses to. I just added these two little triangles there. Gas check. These are more than now checks at the store from Walmart that are harder. I do have some that my son gave me from a place he used to work at, so they're really, really thin. Another one of those zoology button packaging. So I created hearts this time. The other ones were like the outline of these hearts that I added. And then I sewed the ribbon on there. Thought that was cute. Oops, I forgot to put something in here. I could sit here and continually add to this book as I fancy. But then the books start to get this big because the spine is not big enough. But that's usually what I do. I get too much. Aren't they the cutest? And a bingo sheet here. I have one pad of this. Once it's gone, it's gone. Unless I thrift another one. And more of that tracing paper. And this one I won't pull it out. But wait, okay. I added 2 envelopes on this side. And ideology pieces on here. And also from that calendar. It was given to me by my adoptive sister, A. She knows who she is if she happens to look at the video. And this is a timesheet that I added there. If the things that you add to your books are thin, less bulky, but it's just that the creative heart tends to want to create a bunch of goodness. Same thing. That's the picture of the recycling mother. And here is another one. I won't pull it out. I don't know from which book I got that one. Another one of Jane Austen's cards. And it says, I wish as well as everybody else to be perfectly happy. But like everybody else, it must be in my own way. They're empty. And it's just powder style, designed by Jim Macy in 2010. And then I took one of these where all these little die cuts came in, and I actually, Paper Studio, I actually did a zigzag stitch on it, and they can write on the back. I thought it was just a lovely addition. And I did not mention the top part. I did the 2 inside covers with some pink paper, and that's why you're seeing the pink here. And I don't know if I went, yes, I did add pink underneath this one just because you can see it very lightly. And then I added the curtain piece on top. There is no sewing here, but I used a really, really firm glue, so none of this will come apart. And then I added, before I used a piece of chipboard, and then I added this white cloth on top of it, and then made the holes to cover this area up, which is basically what we do when we do a hidden spine. One of the forms to do a hidden spine. Also the same on this side. And I love it. I think the person who's going to get this and this closure that I made with it, I'm not giving it to the person yet, so I just might add a few more little danglies there. When I add this here to close the book, it works perfectly. It squeezes it in place, so the person who gets it, if they so choose to pull some items out, they can do so. If they add more, it's just going to get bigger. But I think there's a lot in there already for them to work with. So this is my pretty book, no name, just floral and lovely. And before I say goodbye, I want to show you a little bit of the things that I got in Australia. I saw koalas in person. Beautiful. I did not hold them. I just saw them in their free. They were free in the trees. Close-ups. I took a bunch of pictures. Some of the stuff that I saw there. The Corella. I forget what this one is. I did see a white pelican. I had never seen a white pelican in my life before. Kangaroos and wallabies. The kookaburra. I remember when I was a preschool teacher and I always sang, "Kookaburra sits in the oakum tree." Just brought back memories. And some of the flowers there, I don't know their names. I can look them up if I choose to. I did get some gorgeous bookmarks. There's this one and I have another one. I can't remember. Oh, it's the blue fairy wren, if I'm not mistaken. I saw these by the millions, I think. The gala. These parrots, which I don't know what they're called. It doesn't say it on here. But this is their price, not in the US. And then the kookaburra. And we did go to Coranda. And we did ride up on this train all the way to the top. Oh, Lord. And then from the top to the bottom, we got on a skylift. First time and my last time I'll ever do that. I couldn't move in that thing. And I actually caught a picture of the Ulysses, I think it's the Ulysses butterfly. Beautiful. We did see this guy here, more koalas. We just saw the waterfall. It was amazing. We visited Melbourne, Perth, Darwin, went to Cairns, and then back home. So we did a bunch of stuff in Australia. And I got these, which are a set. Oh, I thought they were beautiful. I gifted 2. Gorgeous. This was at a market. And I bought this teeny journal that I'm going to fill, I think, with dot art. The indigenous people do that in Australia. They use a lot of dot art in their artwork. I do actually have artwork from them here. And cards. This is playing cards 54 unique images, and I thought this would go great to try my hand at some of this stuff. It has beautiful dot art paintings that represent their culture. I loved it. And I'll set that aside and I'll put them back later. The kookaburra, which will be my familiar friend when I play solitaire. I got these 3 beautiful cards, and this looks like it says Studio O, inspired by nature, Studio Online, handmade greeting cards. They are handmade, but this image seems familiar to me. I don't know why. Like I've seen it before. So I don't know if the person who made the card actually painted that or not. I'm thinking not, but I could be wrong. And the cards were 3 for $10, but it was 10 Australian dollars. That's gorgeous. And then I chose this one. It was an antique market that we went to in, if I'm not mistaken, it's pronounced Dalesford. I'm not sure. I got this gorgeous little book about an ostrich who he's made fun of because he doesn't fly like the other birds. And then in the book, he tries to find ways to fly. I didn't read the ending. I will pretty soon. I happened, at one of the markets, I happened to go by a place that had a bunch of books. They were trading the books. So the man that was in there, I asked him, I told him, I'm from the States and I don't have a book to give you, but I'm asking you, can I please have this Reader's Digest? He didn't even bat an eye. He said, yes, you're welcome to it. So it's actually printed. It says here, printed and bound by Wilkin Company Ltd, Browns Road, Clayton, Victoria. It's a first edition. Most of these are. And it says Australia. The Reader's Digest NSW Australia. So it's a really old one. And my husband told me, don't tear it up. Keep it. It's something good to keep. So I don't know. I'm debating on that one. Then I got these there at that antique in Dalesford, if I'm pronouncing it right. I am repeating myself, but that's okay. And first bird book sound. I thought it was really cute. So that's gonna, if I do make a journal out of this, I'm going to be carefully unbinding this to do that. And then I found 10 little animals. And they were each 5 Australian dollars, which at this moment, I don't know if it's 2 something or 3 something for each one. I got it for a bargain. And then this one, Heidi, I love this story. And it just has some markings in it, but I'm okay with that. In the front and the back, the book itself inside is intact. And then I got Ned's number book. And they each have their own date. 1981. Where were we in 1981? I was still in school. I hadn't graduated yet. High school. And look at the condition of this book. They're all in good condition. I found this one. Josephine, Calm, first job. I am going to open this one up and do something with that one. And then I also got this one. How many of you have read The Wind in the Willows? I was just looking at a video on YouTube the other day. A guy who was listing the 5 best books that you can read to your children, something like that. When my boys were young, I have a 40-year-old and a 33-year-old. When they were young, I read this story to them until they were able to read it themselves. And I actually picked it up at the Botanical Gardens in Darwin. They had these crates down underneath the registration office, down underneath at the bottom. And they had a row of books on a shelf. And I think that's where I got this one. I saw it, I thought, wait a minute, that guy was talking about this being one of the best books to read for children, because this is a book about friendship, about differences in dislikes and likes, and a journey between 3 animals. They meet other animals along the way, and it's a really cute book. And I looked at the lady, and I don't have any books to trade. Can I have this one? She's like, if I had a car and I lived there, I think I would have taken the whole. She said, somebody dumped their library here. You can take whatever you want. So there were some pretty nice books there that I just could not carry in my bag. I carried this in my backpack, and my backpack was heavy coming back home. So I grabbed this one. I thought this is going to be something nice that maybe I can read to my granddaughters, or there's the other bookmark. I started reading it on the airplane. It's The Wren. The Blue Fairy Wren. And I started reading it, but someday I will read it to my granddaughters, or they can have. I have so many books for them that I have in a chest that's for them. And this is some kind of a make your own sun catcher, and I'm going to take it to my granddaughter. I have two, so maybe I'll keep it. I'm not sure, but I thought it was cute. I grabbed it and I put it in my backpack. So either I make it for a book, or I actually trace the stencil part of it and create another one so they can both have one. And then I purchased these lovely napkins in, okay, where did I purchase these? Maybe Perth. I think it was Perth, but I'm not sure. And that's okay. We did so many things. I can't remember half of it. Stayed in hotel, Airbnbs. I mean, it was perfect. The food amazing. Compared to the States, I'm sorry to my U.S. lovers. I love where I grew up, but the food over there was amazing. So this one here, where's this one from? Oh, this is Germany, I think, but they were selling it there. And it says, I can't read it. Okay, anyway, yes, down here at the bottom it says made in Germany. Gorgeous. I had some of these for my sister. And this one is actually an Aussie one. Urban Kitchen. This one is amazing. It's from Germany, and this one is also from Germany. And I've seen a lot of women doing these in their junk journals. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I know I have a few more things that I bought with me, but I'm going to finish with that. I'm glad to those who are coming back, and I can honestly tell you that I will keep bringing stuff. It might not be this coming week. I'm going to spend a week with my granddaughters away from home, so I'm not going to have time to do anything just yet. But I thought this would be a good comeback, and I'm hoping that my supporters are still out there. There might not be many, but that's okay. I'm not looking to. I want to share what I love and what I do. And that's creating these books and helping those who want to create books be inspired, because I'm also inspired by everybody on YouTube also. I have a list. I've got a little book here that I'm keeping. So now I'm writing a list of the people that I do watch on YouTube. And I do have my favorites, and I'll share that at another time. This one, I took this inspiration from, I bought one of these little notebooks from the 125 store. Is no longer the $1 store. And let me see if I can find her name here. Oh, I know her name by heart, but I just can't remember all of a sudden. The Posh Paper Lady. I recommend her. She does so many different things, not just books or pads, or she's got a zillion ideas. So I do recommend her. I like Sean Petit, Denise Love. There's a whole bunch of people on here. Another time. Thank you so much. Have a good one. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.